Well, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, another brand new day. Yay! It is good to exist, and I am existing, and you are hopefully existing, I mean, especially if you're watching this, and hopefully you're having a great day. Definitely a thumbs up on that. I have had a rough couple of days, and I'll talk about that as well. First, I started leaving my little side lamp down on there in the morning time, and it adds more light and it's not as dark back there. How does that look? I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know if it's distracting. I don't know if it's too much light. I'm having so much trouble keeping my dentures in. My sincere apologies. I don't have the money to get them fixed, so yay. But I think that light looks pretty good. I like it. It's hopefully a good thing. And of course, to front load the video, if you like what you see and hear at any time, if you could toss me a like, that would be very cool. And if you could interact with the YouTube algorithms by, say, subscribing to the channel, if you haven't, and you like what you see and hear, that would be very cool. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These beautiful and awesome people are literally helping to keep me alive. I'm on an extremely limited income on disability. I cannot work. I have nerve damage, and it's just insane. So these people are literally helping to keep me alive because it isn't extremely limited. And without these people, I wouldn't have food or a roof over my head. My pets wouldn't be alive. So thank you, each and every one of these people. I don't know if there's still text up on the screen, but it's really hurting my arms to do that. But thank you, each and every one of them. If you could become a patron, that would be very cool. But, you know, it is not required, though it would be very nice. So, if I can remember what I was talking about, I had my appointment yesterday to have my colonoscopy, and that was something. I need, what is the word? Routine and habit in my life with where I am on the autism spectrum, my ADHD, my depression, my social anxiety, my grief, all of these things. Routine and habit are an important part of my life. So anything like a half-day appointment for a colonoscopy is really going to throw everything off. And it threw everything off. I had increasing anxiety and nervousness coming up to my appointment for no reason, because I've had them before and they've been fine and wonderful and great. And so, yay. But yesterday I was up at a very early time in the morning, getting ready and waiting and then drinking the stuff that I had to drink, filling myself with laxatives for days and days so they could snake a tube up inside of me. And got there and it was fine. It was a great appointment. The only thing that went halfway bad is you end up dehydrated when you prepare for these. And I was more dehydrated than ever before. I have great veins. I have never had anybody have an issue putting needles in my veins for, IVs or blood draws or anything like that. This time I was so dehydrated, my veins were rolling out of the way of the needles and the valves inside of the veins. It took 5 stabs on this arm in various places where they could not get any blood or get the needle in. 3 on this arm before they finally got it in. It's not their fault. I was dehydrated, and when that happens, it's hard to get a needle in. These were very, very, what is the word? Professional people that were very skilled. The fact that they couldn't do this was not their fault. They felt terrible, and I just kept reassuring them, with all these patches all over my arm. It's like, it's not your fault. Please don't feel bad. It has to be done. It's fine. And so they felt terrible, but I was busy reassuring them the entire time. Don't worry, just do what you have to do. And then the last time I gotten my colonoscopy, they gave me fentanyl. And no matter how much fentanyl they gave me, I was awake and talking. I don't remember exactly all the details of the last 20 minutes or so of the last time, but I was still awake. This time they changed it up, gave me something new. And they were slowly squeezing it into the IV, and I was warned, and then I could feel it starting to happen. I just went, oh, it's happening, goodbye, and then out. And then I woke up, however long later it took, in recovery. So that was good. Oh, excuse me. There were still 5 polyps, 5 growths that they snipped out of my lower intestinal tract. They are sending them off to be biopsied, and then we're going to find out if, we caught them precancerous or if they were just, things. So, here's hoping it's all fine. I mean, if they're precancerous, that's fine. I've already had 3 of them removed. The very first colonoscopy I had that was precancerous, so better that they get taken out if they are. So thumbs up on that. But it went well, and then we drove back. But just the rest of the day, I felt, kind of weird and off because of the anesthesia, because of the whole, it was like 1 o'clock by the time we got back here. And we left at 8. So everything was thrown off. I didn't feel right. I had, stabs and cuts inside of me. And I'd been drugged and knocked out. So, yeah. So I didn't really do much yesterday day after the appointment. I rendered a video. I thought about and wanted to render another one because I usually mirror things from my reaction channel here. But I didn't. And even though you're supposed to take it easy after a colonoscopy, because after all, they could still accidentally puncture your gut or do some other damages, and they want you to watch for things, and they don't want you doing a lot of heavy stuff. And I got a little itchy spot right here. I'm not sure why. My apologies. But so of course I went on my great big 5+ mile walkies last night all around town, so yay. And I've done my thinking on this, that, and the other. But because I haven't done much, now I'm going to sort of transition into, well, first I'm going to talk about this. Because I do have my creative disturbing channel where I've been putting some stuff, and I had originally thought, hey, maybe I'll talk about my, cosmic horror framework and all that and put it there, but I haven't really been able to because it's all still a work in progress. I started thinking yesterday, hey, you know what? Since I'm never really going to be able to do all this otherwise, why don't I just go through my vlogging and snip out those parts where I do the world building talk and then just upload those so that they're separate, so that you don't have to deal with everything else, so that you can just deal with the actual world building / creative part. So I'm going to start snipping out, and then like every day I'm going to put up the day's creative stuff, and then I'm also going to be going back through my older backlog and trying to snip and cut out all the way back through to the cosmic horror framework so that it's there. It's going to be a unorganized mess, but hopefully still entertaining. Hopefully I can get it done. Hopefully people watch it. Hopefully people are entertained. But I have been doing other thinking on the whole inside-outside stuff. When I do a lot of world building, as in yesterday, I, before my appointment, talked about the little town of Abernathy and what they're going to be dealing with after they've awakened this ancient being, and it has to kill and eat before it goes back to sleep. In a framework of what is happening on this whole thing, on the whole book idea, it's about 25% I talk about the building tension, and then about right here is where the Apple Rock Kaiju just rampages, and then it's everything is based on that till about here. And then that's where we start talking about Abernathy's happening. And then there's equal stories of other stuff and Apple Rock through here, because life goes on, and this takes place over the span of a year. And then when you get down to this area, that's when I start doing stuff about the expeditions down into the southern exit off of the crossroads and like that, because life goes on. And then ending up with the people just saying, it's like you have to just live your life. If the kaiju is this strong, there's nothing you can do to fight it. Just live your life. And that's life on the razor's edge. A year just of that time. But I've been doing still other stuff. There's that kind of world building where I talk about things like Abernathy, and then there's the kind of world building where I'm trying to understand and put limits on the other stuff that's there. I talk a lot about the glamours, and really that's just a word, a name. I mean, you can call them glyphs or signs or whatever you want. It's just I happen to use the word glamour because I also use the term sight to determine those who can actually, it's not just sight, it's every sense that you can interact with the inside. I do not know why this is so itchy right here, and it's driving me nuts. My sincere apologies. It's coming on in waves. And I'll scratch it, it'll be fine, and then it'll get itchy again. But like right now. But with all of that happening, the things like the glamours that people use to travel, nobody understands them, nobody knows how they work, it's very confusing, and why? Why? Because without the glamours, you can't travel. I've talked about a good analogy for when you're like on the inside or you're on the razor's edge. Each area you walk through, there's so much more there. It's like there's 10 billion plates all stacked up. You enter, into that area. Reality hits the shuffle on the autoplay, finds out which tile you're going to enter. So you don't know where or how you can travel, and without that, you don't go from tile to tile. I've talked about how as well you can travel outward on the razor's edge, and you go out about 10,000 kilometers, and then when you do, you reach the end. You step further, you will arc with the just rampant possibility that's out there. There'll be another burst of world-altering and destroying energy, and there's another 10,000, miles or kilometers, I can't remember which I was saying, of razor's edge going outward. Try to remember where I was going with this. Oh yes, so there's the glamours. If you don't have the glamour, you never leave the area that you're in that way. You could be like in your town tile and you go outward. There are old games like the game Arena by Bethesda, the first Elder Scrolls game. If you do overland travel, it is an infinite world. You cannot leave wherever you are. You can go further and further and it generates more and more, and there's land and there's stuff, but you'll never get anywhere. You have to do fast travel to travel between anything. That's kind of like how it works with the glamours. They're kind of fast travel, except it's not fast. That's the only way you can travel. If you leave your town and there are no glamours, you can go that way for eternity. You'll never leave the biome of the place that you're in, and it just goes on. 10,000 kilometers, or miles, nascent possibility, you take a step and bam, that world-altering burst of energy again. But you can never leave that tile. And it's the glamours that guide and lead you through to places. So if you have a destination, they nudge and push you until you get there. How do they work? I don't even know what they are. They're kind of terrifying, because what is there that tells you how to get to a place, hey, I'm going to head to Tall Ned. Especially since if you have a strong sense of sight, you can see some of these glamours. Like you got that nudge to turn left, and that's the only way to get where you're going, to follow the glamours. But the glamour that you're following that's telling you to turn left here might literally be, something that normal people out here could not even interact with, and so they'd see it as like an abandoned trailer on a corner. But it is literally just a half-rotted stack of severed human heads on a corner. And that half-rotted stack of human heads tells you, oh, you're going to Tall Ned? You need to turn left here. They don't tell you that, you just have that urge to turn left if you're going to Tall Ned. But it's still a stack of half-rotted, severed human heads. And part of the question is, what makes this a glamour? And part of the question is, who collected all of these heads? Whose heads are they? How does this work? And the answer is nobody knows. especially since on the inside and on the razor's edge there is no such a thing as air travel, because since you need the glamours to travel. And I'm going to have to talk about that some tomorrow, because I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments up to, well, it would be 25, but it's been a long time since I've gotten 25 comments. But anything more than 0 is awesome, so thank you. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended, and even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand, with my depression, fibro, ADHD, ASD, and more, I'm getting better, but one day. So we have Kieran Basley, thumbs up and thank you. Confused L29, greatly appreciate. Good to see you in the comments. Alexandra Moore, thumbs up. And then we have Brittany Gidley. I'm sure, hope I'm close. Thank you very, very much. Zach Campbell, greatly appreciated and thank you. Good to see you in the comments. Larry from Space, thank you very, very much. Ben B, thumbs up. And good to see you as well. We have Craig YAC, thank you. And Pancake Cookie, greatly appreciated and good to see you as well. And then there is Mountain, and then the whole bunch of the vowels. There we are. Thank you very, very much. It is appreciated. Yuki likes hot potatoes. Thank you very, very much again. Ice Damon, greatly appreciated. Random person, thumbs up. And we have Brian Glenn. Thank you very, very much. It is appreciated, each and every one of you. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people. It is appreciated to no end. Yay! And of course, with my hands in the air, I do not know what device you're watching this on, but in the video description, I have links to all of my channels. If you could check that out, that would be cool. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. A very good thing. And of course, if you could hit the notification button. Did I do the whole, I skipped the whole this part. Did I do this? I can't remember if I did the Patreon thing already. Here, I'm doing it again. This might be number 3. These are my Patreon patrons. And as stated, this might be the 3rd time because I mentioned how my memory does not work well. Well, guess what? My memory does not work well. But thank you, each and every one of you. These beautiful people, they keep me alive, and it is appreciated. I guess also in my links, there's things like, my Twitter and my Facebook and my PayPal, and I've got, a PayPal link. If you'd like to help me out, and there's an Amazon wish list link, hopefully still with things like cat food and hamster bedding. That'd be very cool. Somebody said in comments that they'd ordered some cat food that was supposed to show by the 17th, and I haven't gotten any, and I don't have any money to buy cat food. If you could help me out, that would be very cool. Because I've gotten lost, I don't know where I am in my spiel. So remember to seek creativity. Keep your brain working. It is literally use it or lose it, and you don't want to lose it. Seek positivity. I was a negative person for far too many years, and it only hurts you and those around you. And seek balance, moderation in all things. It is a good idea. And of course, with the Cliff FA bug still raging, please, if you don't have to go out amongst others, don't. If you do, wear a mask, wash your hands often, try not to touch your face, maintain your social distancing, get the bloody jab, get a booster if it's available to you. Oh, it's like over 5 million people worldwide have not lived through this, so don't be one of them. I mean, we're all going to die one day, but you don't have to die of this early. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.